And we're back at Cooper's Field for men's Division I action. This is a virtual semifinal to see who will top Pool B. It's the Denver Bulldogs, 8-time national champions, against the Golden Gate Roos, who are looking to make it back to the grand final for the first time since 2018 and their first grand final in Division I since 2017. I'm Brian Barish back here on the boundary, and joining me once again for the second time today from the AFL Coaches Association, Ron Watt. Ron, hello again. This should be an absolute, ball burster of a game.
It will be a ripper. I've seen both these teams play over the weekend, and they bring quite a bit of style to the game. So looking forward to a good contest. But I want you to walk me through the coin toss routine. What is that?
What, this thing out here?
Well, where they all line up opposite each other.
It's the stare down, and then there's the last minute instructions from the umpires. Usually they do that as well at home because a lot of times the umpires will just talk, especially if there's newer players. They'll let them know about just reminding them of certain things that they're looking out for. Also telling them this is your first and only warning about no back chat.
Yep.
Especially if you're Jeff Person out there, because he is not the one. He is not the one you want to back chat to. He is there's a few who are very strict about it, and that's something that's actually been a feature of the USAFL, and they've cleaned things up, or at least they're trying to clean things up, which is definitely important here.
Expecting a couple of 50-meter penalties in this game?
We'll see what happens. There will be a little bit of heat. Here we go, winner on to the grand final, and we're underway here. Denver heading from left to right, as this is Ryan going after the football for Golden Gate. Going after the footy again is Bradley Jordan. He stays with it now. Good little hand pass looking for Clark. Over the top now. Big tackle put in there, and then scooped off the ground, and then now out to the near side. That's Teddy Schliessman there, number 36, a USA national team player who went after the footy, but it's a turnover and a free kick. They go into the middle of the ground now. Nice mark over the top. And looking to go quickly, looking for the hand pass, couldn't find it. That is the Roos. Going and picking that one up is Daniel Duffield. Duffield sends that one high, and a nice mark in front by Lockie Fleet. And it was Lachlan Fleet who kicked the goal after the siren to win the Super Regionals over Austin back in June. This guy's got a foot on him, Ron.
Well, I'm looking forward to this kick, but a bit of a pity about that mistake on the wing. The Golden Gate guy took a terrific mark and then tried to play on and didn't quite execute. But let's have a look at this. It's got a bit of distance on this kick.
And the direction as well. And Lockie Fleet has found his kicking boots nice and early. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's the Denver Bulldogs 6, the Golden Gate Roos nothing. And that is how quickly they can hit you. And there is Fleet. Watch this forward line, Ron, because they've got 26 in Lachlan Fleet. They've got 31 and Matt Howell, and then a couple of the other guys as well. Adam Wolfsis, number 12, who used to be their ruck for the longest time. Saw him up in the forward line yesterday in the victory over Quebec. So they have a lot of forward presence, but their midfielders are good at getting the ball to them.
Well, they're going to need to use this breeze in the first half. So looking forward to seeing the movement there. But the first minute or so of play was hotly contested. Looking forward to the next bit.
Now you're probably better at the miles per hour to goals transition rate. We would say this is about what? About a 3-4 goal breeze, you would say?
Well, I like to measure it in yards or meters rather than goals. So I'd say it's about a 7 to 10 meter breeze.
I like that. It pops up on a bounce as he wheels around and sends that one into the middle of the ground. Had to protect his shins and maybe places a little bit higher. Handballs it in now as they're able to get that out into the middle of the ground. Here they come now as they hand pass. There's the 65 up over the top. Handball into the middle of the ground. Got and was able to pick that one up. Look at this handball slapped away. Say, get that nonsense out of here. And the Bulldogs able to get a big tackle in the middle of the ground. Duffield taken down with a half Nelson. Plays this one on. Big tackle from behind. And he is G-O-N-E gone. And Damian Farinola, he closed down on him and tackled him lickety-split. Out to the near side now, they drop in front. Denver trying to hand it in there. Taken down once again was Jack Gleason. And my goodness, there are more hard hits than in a crime documentary. And we're ball up once again in the middle of the ground. Picked out of the air by the number 1, who is an unnamed player. Here's Bradley Jordan. We know him. Just got out of the way from Schliessman, but picked up on a hop. And it cleared. Oh, big hit in there by Livy. And a little bit of by Franco, rather. and or who, I don't know who that is, as the ball is in there. We do not have numbers for the Golden Gate Roos, so we are doing our best as the ball goes up in the air. Ball gets knocked down. Looking again for Jordan. Clicked on the left side. Goes out to the far side where it's marked.
Yeah, nice work by Golden Gate. They're just keeping the ball in tight there around the contests and using their hands, quick hands to advantage. And at one stage I thought they were Collingwood Magpies the way they were whipping that ball around.
Jack Lucas with the kick. Lucas with the kick up on the way. It's fading right and almost marked. Just got two hands to the footy and then throw a blanket over 10 players. And it appears we'll have another ball up dead in front. Golden Gate trying to score one to the Bob Seeger end, which is against the wind as the ball goes high up in the air. Lindfeld is in there. That's Dowdell who is in there. And the ball gets taken down. Almost got taken down without the footy. Trying to get that one out one more time and then cleared out. Great smother in there as it bounces away off the left foot. Dribbles through. It's like a fire drill situation out there, and the ball goes out of bounds, and we'll have a boundary throw in. Or will it be as a free kick? The umpire is conferring with the boundary umpire who originally called it as a free kick. And in fact it is. So Golden Gate from an odd angle here, Ron.
It's going to take a good kick from there.
Especially with this wind.
He might go the banana, I think.
Well, he pulls out the banana, and he ended up with a plantain. And it's out of bounds on the full, and Denver will have a chance to shake the Etch-a-Sketch and draw up something new.
Talk me through the Bob Seeger end.
You
know,
know,
another analogy for people kicking with the wind?
Well, that's the Christopher Cross side, because you're riding with the wind.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know the song "Against the Wind."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that song,
Bob Seeger and
yeah.
Christopher Cross.
All right. Seeger and Cross.
Plus, it also sounds like two footballers. You got the Coventry end, and you've got the and
the Lockett end.
And the Lockett end. Yeah, you've got the Bob Seeger end. Bob Seeger was a pretty good goal kicker in his own right. As the ball comes up on the far side now, and they are running with it quickly. Here it comes. It bops forward again. Here comes Golden Gate hanging on to that 6-0 lead. We got that goal, or rather Denver hanging on to that 6-0 lead. They got that one goal in the first minute, and it's been quiet since. And it has to be put down largely to the fact that the wind really is wreaking havoc here, now blowing more across the field.
Yeah, and to be fair, Golden Gate's bottling things up and creating an enormous contest and pressure. So they're doing a good job to restrict the Denver Bulldogs at the moment.
They really are. These were really behind Austin, two of the best teams in the country, although one may make the argument that they were better than Austin, as we have a player down on his hands and knees, and it is Stephen McAvilly. And here comes Golden Gate working the opposite direction. They've been huffing and they've been puffing, but they haven't been able to blow the house down just yet. As Lucas is calling for the footy, we can see. And they have turned it over, and a tackle in there, and the umpire crosses himself like the Monsignor, and we'll have a ball up in front of the Site 1 line and sign. And Site 1, one of the many sponsors we have, they're responsible for getting those beautiful goalposts that you see across the ground. Tasmanian and Coopers and all those other all our other great sponsors that we've had. And again, the umpire will call for a ball up. Tasmanian, their second season of sponsorship here in the USAFL. We are ever thankful to have them with us. As the ball goes to ground, Lucas goes and picks this one up. Ball pops up high in the air. Marked. Oh, my goodness. I don't know if that was a free or if it was a mark, but he should have gotten paid that. He got higher than Joe Cocker.
There we go. You're good on your music. It was a nice grab, actually.
Yeah, it was a very nice grab. And I'm not 100% sure if it was paid or if it was paid as a free, but we're going to give him the mark. Wind is blowing from right to left. It's on the way. The distance isn't a problem. And the ball was touched in and then went out of bounds. Watch AFL scoreboard says Denver 6, Golden Gate no score with Brian Barish and Ron Watt.
Well, Golden Gate would be happy they could attack from the other side of the ground, which is more attacking side for them, even though they're going against the breeze. So they're
Zach,
doing a good job.
Zach Taylor, one of our lesser-known presidents, went after the footy and snapped to goal, but it's gone behind. Golden Gate on the board. Watch AFL scoreboard. They're one behind, and Denver is one straight 6. So it's Denver 6, Golden Gate 1.
Oh.
Out of bounds. Now, up until about 4 years ago, that would be a free kick. But because they've changed the rules and they've played on, that's just a boundary throw-in.
Correct.
And I actually like that change because I think it opens up because allowing a player to play on, I think it opens up the play from the back a lot.
Well, there's an argument both ways, and you know, most football purists actually don't mind it because it keeps the game flowing. But maybe the old timers like yourself don't appreciate it. Whoa, watch out!
Hi.
We nearly had a bulldog in the box here.
I was going to say Dan Duffield almost ended up in my lap, which, you know, my wife might be watching, so you never know. As the ball comes in.
Do you think she'd like him?
Maybe.
Yeah.
She might like him. She might like him more than me. Who knows? Ball comes spinning back in the play, and I'm probably funnier than he is, though, so that's what I have going for me. As we'll have a ball up in front. We've gotten a couple of possessions over here. We've almost had a couple of people in our lap. I mean, it's been interesting. That's a free kick to Denver. And we'll see who has it as he turns around. It is Nick Moretto.
Edmondson.
Moretto. There it is. This is Fleet. Fleet dances, romances, sending this one in, but into the back line, and he'll swing that across. And we'll have a boundary throw-in. The Roos marooned in their own end for now. And we'll have a boundary throw-in. Again, watch AFL scoreboard. 6-1 in favor of the Denver Bulldogs. Glad you're watching us, and we can hear us over in the Cooper's Beer Tent, which is steadily flowing as games and teams' seasons are ending, and they are washing it away with some delicious Cooper's beer. As the ball is up on the far side now, it's soccered off the ground. It's there. Umpire Dan Estes gives the two-finger salute you can show on TV. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, the Bulldogs have put their noses in front a little bit further as they go to 2 straight 12 to Golden Gate 1 behind. It's Denver 12, Golden Gate 1.
Well, they needed that one. They need to give themselves a 3 or 4 goal lead, I think. And I know I like talking about metre gains with the win, but yeah, you do need to have an advantage on the scoreboard. And if you look at the flags blowing up there near the Cooper's bar, it looks like the wind's going straight down the ground a lot more than it was. So.
Yeah, it really is. I feel like it's gone kind of a combination of straight down the ground and then more in our direction. But it's really tough to read. Here they come again. Denver looking for another one. Fleet is able to shake. Oh, Howe is taken down.
Tackle.
Oh, what a tackle. But the umpire says let the record play. It's going to be a free kick, though, to the Golden Gate after a good tackle. As they were playing initially, the big men rise above me. And then out here comes a big smother off of the foot of Gleason. Gleason went after the footy once again on the second bite of the cherry. Now goes into the pocket. Going after it is Howe, and the ball goes out of bounds.
They're well organised behind the ball here, Denver.
Yep.
So they're going to lock it in their forward end.
Ball comes back in the play. And off to the near side. That was a bit of a grubby kick. I don't know if that was the intention.
Deliberate.
Oh, yeah. I agree with that. I think, you know what? I mean, I don't know if he deliberate was trying to get out of bounds, but should get a free kick for that kick. I think that's fair. Yeah. I think my cat could have kicked that a little bit better, but you know what? I know I certainly couldn't, so I'm not going to sludge him too much as the ball's up on the far side. And now here come the Roos trying to get it out. Here's another shot for goal, high up in the breeze. The umpire says 1 behind. So
that was Edmondson who kicked that one. He ran over to us before the start of the game, Edmondson, to alert us to the fact that Fluff Collins was number 2, but I think it was really to promote himself as number 7.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it was because he did the little this thing when he turned around.
Pretty much.
Watch AFL scoreboard. It's 2 goals, 13 for Denver and 1 behind for Golden Gate. So it's 13-1 Denver. As the ball is up on the far side, Denver leads 13-1. Up on the far side, here comes Golden Gate stringing some of these handballs together. Jordan handballs it on. A little do-si-do. Now sends this one high and a goal. That was rough. He was kind of pushed into that tackle. Ball, cried the crowd. Ball, says the umpire. Free kick, doggies.
That was great work by Denver, bringing the ball up by hand there.
And they are very good at that as they come out to the near side. Weights in the air, marked by Tim Wilson Humphreys, who has been around a long, long time. He wasn't taking marks over T-Rexes. He was taking marks over covered wagons. That's how old he is.
So he's not too bad.
Nah, not too old. No. I was only taking marks over hula hoops or Etzels as the ball is on the far side. And it's locked in, and the ball is cryogenically frozen in there just like Walt Disney's head. We'll have a ball up directly across from us. Comes to Gleason. It was sent forward, and a 50-meter penalty has been awarded to Denver.
I think it's a throw-in. It's been kicked downfield. It's a throw-in.
There it is.
There's a bit happening around the contest too.
It's also really hard when there's all those people over there intense, and you lose the ball momentarily, and it's not had anything being down at ground level, because I would always have that issue when we were up in the cherry picker too.
Yes.
We need to CGI those people out. That's the thing.
Can you come over this side of the ground, please?
Yeah. I mean, then they have you on top of you, and then you can't hear yourself think. Duffield from the pocket.
Oh.
Nope, off to the side, but Duff is up and about. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, there's another point. It is 2-2-14 to Golden Gate 1. So Denver 14, Golden Gate 1 point.
They've got to bring it to the dead side of the ground here.
And here they go. This one's high up in the air. The pack flies, and that is a dangerous kick. That's absolutely got the ball up too high. So Patrick Devlin gives the kick away. It was a good idea, but you can't do that when you're surrounded by like 5 other people. As this one comes out to the near side, Schliessman. Oh, Lucas almost used Schliessman as a stepladder.
So Golden Gate's got to try and lock it in here a little bit and just keep forcing it around the boundary. Don't let it out into space, and don't let Denver get some free ball.
Ball high in the air once again, off the tap. Ball goes to ground, skittered out now. Sending that one back from whence it came. Bounces off into the pocket. One-on-one contest, and he's carried out of bounds or pushed out of bounds. And it'll be a boundary throw-in once again.
This is exactly what Golden Gate want.
Yeah.
They want to bottle it up here on the dead side of the ground.
They want to bottle it up, I think, limit the damage as much as they can, if not get something here to make it closer, and then ride the wind into the grand final, or at least hope to ride the wind into the grand final. Denver has made, since their last grand final, they've made it the last championship in 2011. We said they've won 8 total, as this one is kicked up to into the forward line, bundled away, in down towards the middle, and then got it the heck out of there, do the doggies, and the mark is taken once again by Gleason. Gleason sends this one up down the line. It's a long kick. Going after it is Howe. Howe's on his horse. He finally gets up to it about the 15th bounce, but couldn't get it cleanly, and it goes out of bounds in front of the beer tent. And let me tell you, they are going to let him know that he didn't pick up that clear. That is the worst place that you can make a mistake. I am saying that as somebody who once took a falcon in the middle of my teammates all having a beer once. Ball will come back the other way. Denver, as we said, has won eight national championships. The last one was in 2011, as here's a chance now for Golden Gate to square up off the left foot. As this one will roll, it'll skip, it'll hop behind the stick. And it's through for a minor score. 2 goals separate the sides. It is Denver 14, Golden Gate 2. here on USAFL.com. Thanks to Coopers and Tasmanian, almost taking the mark over the top. There again is Edmondson, and a big booming kick down the line. They're saying it's out on the full, and in fact,
it's out on the full.
It is in fact out on the full. We got some obstacles, but they're important obstacles.
They are.
And again,
Golden Gate's going to try and keep it as close as they can to this dead boundary and try and maintain possession and create lots of contests here.
That's the idea. You essentially have to wait things out. The ball comes high up in the air, punched away by Edmondson once again. Goes out in the middle of the ground, picked up by Denver. They'll go now in Duffield. Duffield tries to chase through. Handballs it back over the middle. Pops up in the air. Again looking for a teammate. Schliessman, that's on the full. And Teddy Schliessman knew it.
Not happy with himself.
Not happy with himself, but that's okay. He's had a fantastic season, really a breakout season for Teddy Schliessman, who, as we said, he played on the national team. Tom Ellis picking him to play in the U.S. for the U.S. On the reserve side, and he really earned his keep. He takes a nice mark, which redeems him for that kick. So here is Schliessman. Bang, booming kick down the corridor. Nice mark. Some good marks.
They're using the wrong side of the ground here. They need to try and get it through the middle of the ground a little bit more, Denver. Just get it away from this boundary.
Yeah, if you're Denver, you want to play it. You want to play more through the corridor, whereas Golden Gate wants to play the boundary a little bit more as well.
Absolutely.
Again, they're just trying. They want to really, and then it will switch. Ooh, that was a nice kick. That was a really nice kick right in front of us, the outside of the boot. But the siren will end all proceedings here. It has been It's been a tight game so far. Denver, however, has had a couple of chances to open things up. And at halftime here on Coopers Field, it's the Denver Bulldogs, 2 goals, 2 behinds, 14 points. Golden Gate, 2 behinds. And Ron Watt, Denver is playing extremely well, but I think considering they've had the wind against them, Golden Gate didn't do all that badly.
Golden Gate did a great job holding the game up for long periods, and probably would be disappointed they didn't create a goal or two out of their entries and the way they'd work the ball up this side of the ground. But Denver, you're in front, you're holding all the cards, and it's going to be interesting to see what Denver do this half when they're against the breeze and how they're going to play it. I'm assuming they're going to put a player or two behind the ball and bring their forwards right up the ground. So we'll wait and see.
And they have to concentrate, I think, on shorter passes. Like, you can't put the ball up high in the air when you have the wind because it creates too much of a contest. You want the more high percentage. You want the low kicks, and you want handballs as much as you can.
Well, Golden Gate did that perfectly a number of times on that attacking side of the ground where they used 6 or 7 handballs in a row. It'll be interesting to see whether Denver tries to do the same or tries a bit more kicking possession game. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at the games coming up at 3 o'clock real quick here around the grounds. Rather, at 1 o'clock. It's 13. The clock striking 13. The Division III Grand Final, the Philadelphia Hawks and the Oklahoma Buffaloes. The Hawks going for their 4th Division III Grand Final. Oklahoma looking for their first. Men's Reserves Division, Golden Gate and Austin, which will be a de facto Grand Final. In the reserves group, Division 4, North Carolina and Tampa Bay. That's on Field 3. DC and Houston over on Field 4 in Women's Division 2. We're going to take a quick break and come right back. You're watching the 2023 USAFL National Championships here on USAFL.com. Second half of the final round of the round robin play, the pool play here in men's Division I. It's the Denver Bulldogs leading the Golden Gate Roos by the score of 14-2. Brian Barish alongside AFL Coaches Association's Ron Watt. And Ron, with the wind here, this is going to make things very interesting, but Golden Gate, you would think, would have their tails up.
You would think so. Looks like Denver is starting Edmondson behind the ball, so they've got a spare behind the ball at this stage already.
Duffield was whipped down by Bradley Jordan, and the Bulldogs won a 50-meter penalty. They ain't going to get it as that one goes out to the far side, almost taking the mark over the top. Looking for a call was Gleason.
Non-controlling umpire called that one.
Yeah, I think that's the right call. Yeah, absolutely. It was a dangerous situation, and suchly rewarded. In the middle of the ground to Duffield. Duffield looking to his left. Now he decides he wants his full 7 seconds. Now loads up and goes down the ground. Sending that one on. Ball gets punched away. Comes out to the near side. Lucas chasing after the footy. Ending up being won by one of the Bulldogs. Sending that one in. And that was Billy Hicks. That's a football name if ever I've heard one, who had the footy. Here comes the Golden Gate to try and get it out to the near side. No, just had it for a moment and then dropped it. The pressure there by Kyle Wallen was what did it. And it'll be a free kick, or a ball up rather, and it will happen just to our left. The opening minutes of the scoreless second half. 14-12, 14-2, 2-2 behinds. I almost sounded like Richie Beno for a second. 2-2.
Yes. We were just talking about Bill Laurie and Tony Gregg during the break, weren't we?
Yeah, we were. I miss Richie. Richie was good at what he did.
He was.
Ball comes in and almost off the fingertips and banged out nicely by the fullback. It's going to hang in the air for a while off the fingertips of the man there in, once again, that was Hicks, who couldn't get to it. All in the middle of the ground. It's up high. Duffield takes the mark and taken down afterwards, but that was incidental. And so Duff goes to the right. Best and fairest winner of Division I at the Super Regionals. And it'll be a free kick.
Handy. So you can see already that Denver's trying to control the ball a little bit more, trying to go a bit shorter, get it offline wherever they can, and try and maintain possession in the early stages of this half.
So Lachlan Fleet, who kicked the opener, will now have to do it into this stiff breeze, which is blowing a little bit right to left. He set sail from 40 meters out. He goes right to left, but didn't have the mark! Oh, my goodness, and that's our good friend in Ryan Edmondson. He got up and got loose and took a drink of that sweet, sweet juice.
So Edmondson's been playing behind the ball here and has had a couple of touches already, but he just drifted forward there and then was unopposed as he flew for that mark. So his opponent, who was at the other end of the ground, didn't see him come down.
Edmondson forward, and he goes bang. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, that's their third goal and one against the breeze. So it's 3-2-20 to 2 behinds. It is Denver 20, Golden Gate 2.
Are you going to call it already?
I don't have the rotund opera singer on speed dial at the moment.
I think there's a bit to play out yet.
I was going to say, I don't have Rex Hunt's phone number. Because he's the one that will come in and do it. We're underway again. Big hit out from the middle of the ground as this one is going forward here. Clean bowls Lucas. Good job to get back in defense again it looks like by Jack Gleason out to the near side as the wind. Yeah, it's definitely drifting across now as the ball gets knocked down, and that's going to get called. And it'll be a free kick to the Roos. The Roos need one like right now if they want to have a chance here. And they're going to send this one deep and send this one behind the stick, and they get their first point in a while. So it's their third score of the game. And on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it is Golden Gate 3, Denver 20. And again, our thanks to Coopers, our thanks to Tasmania, and all of the other sponsors, Watch AFL, Site One, and everybody else who has helped put this fantastic together. Of course, our friends here at Bradenton and Sarasota counties. Here comes Golden Gate once again, and he's going to get cut off at the pass. And that one is sent forward. They'll play advantage. Sending this one inside 50. Oh, that's really good. He's going to run onto this one to try and get back. There was nobody in the square. Going to turn around and kick for a goal. And that one goes off the side, so they get the point back to a 3-goal difference. Watch AFL scoreboard. It is 3-3-21 to 3 behinds. It's 21-3, Denver the lead.
A little bit more time to dispose of that one there, but it was a great fast break by Denver for sure.
They are playing with their tails up and with their snouts back. Handball, it goes back from Hicks, and then sending that one forward. Going up, big hit, and he dislodged the footy and out to the near side. Here they come. Over the top, Lucas was taken down in a hurry by Patrick Devlin. And that will force a ball up as there was no prior opportunity. Right in front of the commentary position. Clean, just got that cleanly out of the air, but couldn't hold on to it. Now gets that one in. Pushed down without the footy, no call. Picked that one up was Farinola. Farinola couldn't get it and then shown out of bounds. And we'll have a boundary throw in as Farinola guides it out. One of the Seattle players who they're going to be playing in the grand final in a couple hours' time against the Sacramento Suns, an all-West Coast final. Slaloms through defenders. Nice mark in defense. Again.
He's having a great quarter, Edmondson.
Yeah, he really is. He's racking up a vote or two, perhaps, as that one is sent down the line. And it is, what a mark.
Yeah.
I think that was Nick Moretto. I caught the number 1. It was either Moretto or Gleason. No, it wasn't Gleason. That was Moretto, because I could see Gleason come by. But unfortunately, that effort is wasted for the time being as it's sent back from whence it came. Zach Taylor goes by, shoves aside Schliessman, and then goes after it. And then Schliessman tries to cover the big man, and we'll have a ball up on the opposite side.
Well, I think Denver would be happy every time there's a ball up or a throw in, just to suck a little bit of time off the clock.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really is. It's been that way for most of the game here. And as the ball comes up on the far side, and now going to go picking that one up. Here comes Schliessman once again, high contact, and a little bit afterwards. They're looking for 50, and a little bit argy-bargy, maybe some argy, not a whole lot of bargy, or perhaps some bargy, but not really some argy.
I'm not commenting.
What's that?
No comment.
Yeah, you're from the place that invented argy-bargy. I think you'd be a little, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying.
I know what argy-bargy is, but I've never seen it.
Oh, really? I don't know. Nice mark taken by the man in Matty Howell. Howell generally in the forward line, playing up a little bit short. Well-weighted kick in the middle of the ground for Duffield. Duff beer for me, Duffield for you, as he sends this one in. 2 players there, and the mark is taken up over the back. So the Roos running out of time here. It's still plenty of time, but they're going to need the first one at the very least. Almost. Oh my goodness.
There's our man.
Wow. 3 bites at the cherry. He took a bite and spit out the pit, but then it's turned out the other way. This one will hang in the air. And again.
Guess who?
You know what it is? It's because Tom Harkness used to wear number 7, and he used to do that stuff. So here is that number 7 doing the same thing. That's about the 3rd great mark he's taken in a minute. And then he sends it out to the far side, finding Matthew Carlson. Between Gleason and Carlson, there's a lot of Swedes on this team. They're not really Swede, but you know what I mean. Out to the far side. And now they try and whip it away. Of course, it's funny. We just saw the Denver and Golden Gate women's teams, and now we're seeing the men's teams here. Of course, Golden Gate women defeating Denver to get into the Division II Grand Final. We were just talking. We have just about every other game is either in a Grand Final or a decider, as we have the Division III Grand Final coming up between Philly and Oklahoma next. Division II will see Sacramento and Seattle. And the mark is taken the other way. This is Howell. Howell winds up from 55 out into the driving wind. Bounces away, picked up by Gleason, spins around and puts it behind and out into somebody's windshield.
They're getting the ball into space and finding that Golden Gate are a little bit flat-footed once the ball leaves the area. So Denver is well in control of this game at the moment.
22-3, Denver the lead, and yeah, it looks like they might be going again back to their third grand final in 4 years. That has to be a little bit like iconically Australian, seeing all the cars in the car park right up to the ground.
Yeah, I'd like to hear some of the horns.
Some of the horns. That's the only thing we're missing.
Please, people, if you're in the front row, go and sit in your car
and then hit the horn. It was like that in Washington too. That's what Sonny Lavelle was saying with Houston. We need people in the cars honking the horns. And everybody getting set up towards the goal. And Denver, you would think, with one more goal, might just punch their place into the grand final. And we're trying to keep an eye, or at least get some word on what's happening in the other grounds. Austin, if they win, will go back to the grand final, as this one is sent up on the way.
Oh, don't tell me.
Did he kick that? They're going to talk about it.
He's going to give it a goal. Somebody go and get the ball.
No, it threw her behind.
That was a bit dramatic.
Yeah. That's our that we don't have an ARC. We just an AR those guys. But yeah, that's the other thing. They took too long time. Don't forget about it. Go get the ball, and it's more time off the clock. So it's 23-3 now. It's Denver 23, Golden Gate 3, on the strength of 3 goals, 5 for the Bulldogs. And could we see, as we said, each of the last couple of times they've been in that grand final. Oh, big mark, and then knocks sideways, and he is slow to get up. He gives it. I think that was Timmy Linfelt.
Yeah, strong mark.
What a great strong mark. That's again an American who made that mark. Swings around, and again the ball is blocked as they pick it up again. That's Tom Jacobson out to the near side, shoves man out of the way. Little handball up over the top through the wickets there of Max Eckstein, who's been around a while, out to the near side, over and out, and we'll have a boundary throw in.
This is a hard, fast game. It's
really
a very
is.
good game.
It's a good game. It's not. It doesn't look like it on the. If you were just glancing at the scoreboard, you'd say, this isn't. But yeah, it's good footy. It really is. It's good contests, up and down the ground. As this one is sent into the pocket, and big tackle.
It can't be holding the ball if he drags him over the line, can it? Oh,
yeah.
Hello.
Hang on. Hello. A little bit afterwards, and I mean that was real. I mean, the best thing the umpire can do here, and that's exactly what to do, is to throw it in, and we're underway once again. That's how you resolve those. In most sports, you just kind of let it fizzle out, but that's how you resolve that in footy. And the mark is taken in front, and Denver could add the exclamation mark here.
Sure, he can't possibly kick it from there, can he?
Well, Lockie's got the foot. I think it's just a matter of judging this wind, which I think is blowing almost directly in his face right now.
He's going to be a very skilled man if he can kick this one. The wind's just dropped as he's about to kick.
There it is. There it is. Oh, it tripped across. He thought it was. There it was. I'll tell you what, it looked like it was going through, and then right at the end. See, you haven't been here for this reference, but that was very much like one of my Aunt Becky's cookies. It looked great coming out of the oven, but then crumbled into nothing at the end. I did use that before, yes. But you know, what's funny is I used that once, and my dad said, "How did you know how bad of a cook she was? Because she really was a terrible cook."
She did it with love, though.
She did. She just didn't do it very good. Ball gets put back into play by McAvilly, and ball goes into the ground once again. Oh, sent backwards flying was Matthew Carlson once again. And the ball goes into the middle of the ground, and it's marked in front.
They've used the ball very well short in this half.
But they've had to, and that's what you and I were talking about at the end. I forgot I didn't have headphones on. That was what you and I were talking about at the end of the first half, was that if you're going to be successful, you can't just kick the ball up in the air and hope to win the contest. You have to have short, direct kicks and handballs, and that's exactly what they're doing.
And they're going to have a shot at goal as a result of it.
So this is Matt Howell, who is taking all 30 seconds that he's being allotted. Howell sends this one on the way It flies through straight and majestic, just like a flatulent moth. And Denver may very well, now I think we can call it, Denver looks to be on to the grand final. On the Watch AFL scoreboard, you're going to ask me about what a flatulent moth is in a second, as they go to 4-5-29 to 3 behinds.
Explain, please.
Well, you know, when a moth passes gas, he flies in a straight line.
But for those people who didn't see your fingers going up and down, like we're not on TV here.
No, I know that. I know that.
Yeah. It was funny, everyone.
Yeah. Good. I was worried about what your reaction would be as the ball goes back in the air. Up in the sends that one back. I haven't pulled that one out in a long time. Nice mark by Wolfsis.
Yeah.
You know, Adam Wolfsis used to play in the Rock, and they're using him elsewhere, which is great to see. That's Farinola. As that one goes out to the far side now. Handball's up over the top. And that's Lockie Fleet.
They're paying a free kick.
Or rather, that's Howell. Yeah, they're going to pay the free kick in the back. And that will go to Jack Gleason. Gleason's had his fair share of the footy. I wouldn't say he's had leather poisoning, but his hands are slightly Sharon red.
Yeah, he's had a good impact.
Yep.
He's taking plenty of time. It is sometimes annoying, this rule, isn't it? This 30-second rule.
Sometimes. Not when you're up by 30 as much as they're up by, though. Not when you're up by 26 points. That one's going to die in the square. Going to be picked up around the corner from Howell. And that one was, in fact, a howler because he missed that one from relatively in front. But that's okay as they go to 4-6-30. 3 behinds for Golden Gate. It's Denver 30, Golden Gate 3.
Yeah, this is a part of the game where Golden Gate will find it hard because they're probably going to be stretched now, a long stretch, and they've just got to keep their focus and be as professional as they can and disciplined.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You know this is going to be it, but at the same time you don't want to do anything silly.
Yeah.
I mean there is still a tribunal, there is still all of that other stuff, so you don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything that'll hurt yourself or the club. As Wolfsis took the mark, but they're going to have this come back, and again more time ebbing away, and it is once again Gleason handballs it over. Sends that one from Edmondson, sending that one up high. It is marked. And again, 30 more seconds will waste away from the clock.
He can't even make the distance from there. The umpire should be calling him to play on.
So what you're saying is, you're dreaming, mate.
Yeah, he's told him to play on.
Yeah, he's telling him, yeah. Nice try. Good call. It would have been more funnier if the umpire would have said, you're dreaming, mate, play on. Sending that one across.
They're playing smart football here. They're just conserving a bit of energy now for the final.
Yeah, because they know they're going to be playing at 4:15 Eastern time. And if you're watching in Australia or you know somebody watching in Australia, that's 7:15 Melbourne time. Vic bias as the ball comes out to the near side. Jordan sending that one deep in the air. Nice uncontested mark. Just playing out the string to the near side.
Yeah.
This is McAvilly. Low kick.
Oh,
no, well weighted.
That was a great little grab there. It was a floating ball.
And
he grabbed that well.
And there it is. And that's what we said. That's the 50. Now remember, there's the 50. Now remember as well, there are cards. And, of course, at this point, I mean, a yellow card, the player is sent off and can be replaced. But remember that as well, that this is you don't want to do anything stupid. And I think there's still a little bit of frustration shown here. So we'll see. We'll get we'll get a squiz as to who is kicking here with this 50-meter penalty. I think it was Joseph Karras who had the footy. So Karras will go back. And he's going to take his allotted 30 seconds.
Yeah, we're getting close to time now.
Sending this one on the way.
Kick,
it's a great kick
Yeah.
by Joseph Karras, and that's how you answer. And Denver is flying away home. 5-6-36 on the Watch AFL scoreboard. Golden Gate 3 behinds.
They've been very impressive, Denver, the way they've controlled the ball and controlled the pace of this half. They haven't been forced into rushing and just dumping the ball. So well done, well coached. Yeah, the coaches never get enough credit.
No, they really don't. And they've had a good set of coaches that have come by through their side. And I think the good teams are the ones who can score at that non-scoring end.
Absolutely.
That's what it's been like all weekend. Duffield goes over the top. Out to the near side. Shepard's that one forward. Going after it, and that one goes out, and that's it. And the Denver Bulldogs are headed back to the grand final one more time as they have defeated the Golden Gate Roos and will top Pool B and go into the grand final against a team to be determined soon. The final score on the Watch AFL scoreboard, it's the Denver Bulldogs, 5 goals, 6 behind, 36 points, 3 behinds only for Golden Gate. And Ron, a pretty good game all told. It was a little one-sided on the scoreboard, but Denver really earned the victory.
If you're a football lover, you would have enjoyed that game regardless of who won or who lost. And there was quite a margin, and it was clearly evident who was going to win 5 minutes into this second half. But as a football lover, you would have enjoyed the contest and the way the ball was being used. In the first half by Golden Gate, who did some great run and carry and used their hands well, and then Denver played a completely different style and used the ball by foot, but used it offline and used it short and maintained possession. So well done to both teams, and good luck to Denver in the final.
Yeah, good luck to them. It is their 13th grand final in Division I. They've won 8, but they haven't won since 2011 as they fell to Austin in 2019 and 2022. So for the third time in 4 seasons, they will be playing in the final game on Sunday. As for Golden Gate, you know what? They had a hell of a season in their own right. Western Region champions. They can keep their heads held high, and next year they'll come back stronger than ever to play and hopefully challenge for Division I. And let's face it, Golden Gate, a perennial favorite. You know, they're one of those teams that are always either at the top or just right near it. It's been consistent. They've been in Division I almost 20 years straight, and they really, really have a great season and a great tournament from beginning to end every time they show up.
Yeah, you've got to admire clubs like Golden Gate and Denver who have been able to maintain high standards for a long time. Is there anyone in the Denver team who played in the 2011 Premiership?
I'm sure there is. I'm just looking. I think Max Eckstein may have, Tim Wilson Humphreys. Most of those guys, I'll be honest, are playing with the twos.
Yeah, I've got to admit I'm a bit disappointed you couldn't just tell me straight up if somebody had played or not. You're guessing here.
I mean, I wasn't commentating yet.
Oh, okay then. Fair enough.
So our thanks to Ron Watt for joining us once again from the AFL Coaches Association. I love this, mate. We might have to do this one more time before the weekend's out.
All right, good fun.
Indeed. Well, that'll do it for this one. We have the Division III Grand Final coming up right here on Cooper's Field as the Philadelphia Hawks and Virginia Lions team up to take on the Oklahoma Buffaloes. We'll be right back for that one. You're watching the 2023 USAFL National Championships here on USAFL.com.